Trigger warning. This podcast will be talking about suicide and childhood trauma. Hi, my name is Kira, and this is After I Decided to Stay, a podcast where I talk about my journey with suicidal thoughts and all the things I learned once I decided to stay here on this amazing planet with all you beautiful people. I'm doing this podcast because I need to say some things out loud. It is my desire to help someone by doing this, whether it be someone who is in the thick of it, someone who decided to stay like me, or a family member of someone who doesn't understand what they are going through. I'm not here to glamorize suicide or mental health. I'm not a medical health professional, and this podcast cannot be used as any form of therapy. If you need help with your mental health, I suggest that you find a mental health professional. You are worth it. You are not a burden. Thanks for being here. Invalidation and enablers. Perhaps we should call some of them flying monkeys. The sad thing about this is I was shocked when I realized that sometimes that was me. Invalidation is the process of denying rejection or dismissing someone's feelings. An enabler is a person who encourages negative or destructive behavior in another. Flying monkey is a person who enacts abuse by proxy or having someone else perform the bidding of another person, in this case a narcissist, an accomplice, someone who does nothing about the abuse. These are the other parent in some cases who help the mean one abuse their kids. These are the people in my family who think I should make up with and forgive those who have betrayed me. I'm willing to go zero contact with my entire family just to get a modicum of peace. I don't know who needs to hear this. Your feelings matter more. I don't know if you are like me. I've been told that I was selfish after I gave everything and had nothing else left to give. I had no more money. I let myself go. I dressed the way that person wanted to make them feel comfortable. I passed up on job opportunities. I stopped doing hobbies that made me happy. I diminished myself. Then after all that, I was told how selfish I am. One of the standout moments was when I was invalidated after going to the laundromat. I had been told for years that I can't do anything right, and this person kept saying they hated that I never took the initiative. So we went to the laundromat. The person was in the car. We had a lot of laundry to do, but they didn't move to help me. The laundromat we went to, the washers took an hour. I remember thinking, should I put their things in the washer for them? I was scared either way. What if they got mad because I touched their stuff? But then again, what if they get mad if I don't and claim I don't take the initiative? I decided to put their stuff in the washer. Then I put their things in the dryer. I went through everything and took out the things that weren't supposed to be in the dryer. Then I went to the bathroom. When I came out of the bathroom, there they were. I could tell before they said anything that I was in trouble. They laid into me. You can't do anything right. You are a fuck up. How did I get stuck with a piece of shit like you? I can't wait to get away from you. I don't know where you're going to go after I leave. I just stared at the towels between my feet. Then she got mad because I was crying. I looked up. There were like 2 Hispanic families in there with us, and they were just staring at me. I was really hurt. And then on top of it, I was humiliated. I thought they agreed with her. This was the beginning of the end of this relationship for me. I told my cousins about it. And you know what they said? They said, you guys should make up. I was being abused verbally every day at that point, and they thought we should make up. That was so isolating for me. One of them in particular I felt very close to. I thought she would care if her cousin, whose shoulder she cried on, was unhappy. I thought she would care if I was hurting because I thought she and I were close. It also made me think what kind of character I have that I would consider myself close to these people. Well, for one, I was born into this. Blood is not thicker than water. It isn't thicker than anything. It isn't more important than your feelings. I think I was an enabler for a long time. My abuser and I would work jobs together. We were like a two-person mafia going around intimidating people. I thought we were badass. Me and you against the world. We weren't badass. We were insecure. That's not to say being badass isn't anything anyone should aspire to. I remember being on a job and there was a celebration in the break room. I had a cupcake. My abuser said, I really feel weird calling this person an abuser, but this is how I wrote it, so we'll just go with it. It's not to say that I still feel this way or will feel this way in the future, but it's the way I wrote it, so let's go with it. My abuser said that I shouldn't eat another one or I would have diabetes. Her suggestion skills always had me paranoid. The higher up saw me eyeing the cupcakes. They said, just get one. I said, no. She said, I can't have another. They were like, you're a grown woman who can have whatever she wants. Why would she tell you that? She's really controlling. I said, no, she's not. That's just her personality. I was 19 at the time and had no idea how that sounded. I was enabling her behavior. I watched her do and say many messed up things and never gave her any pushback. At that time, I was a part of the problem. The thing is, once you know better, you do better. Now that I'm no longer around that person every day, I realize that I was an enabler, a flying monkey. I have also learned that you can't trust everyone with your vulnerability. Also, my family is very religious. If I ever spoke out against anything growing up, my mom would say, honor thy father and thy mother, or your days will grow shorter upon the land. This had me terrified as a child, that God would kill me if I disagreed with my mother or grandmother. Now you can imagine how happy I was when I learned as an adult that the rest of that scripture says that a parent is not to provoke the child. My mom would also say that tomorrow is promised to no one when I would make her mad. And she would say, do I need to take you to the funeral home so you can see all the children your age who are in caskets? She would say, God can take you out of here tomorrow. Of course, at some point during my childhood, I was no longer afraid of dying, but I was afraid of God. I had decided to leave anyway, but I did want to go to heaven. You can imagine that my relationship with God and religion was corrupted as a child. Now as an adult, I refuse to go to church. I tell my family that I refuse to call myself a Christian and go to church with modern day Pharisees and Sadducees, which is a subtle jab. I'm not perfect. The church enabled many hurtful things that my family did to me as a child. I love God. I really do. I think Jesus is really cool. I love his story, and I hope he is real because dying for people you have never met is a beautiful act of love. I love that that type of love can exist. Going to church would ruin that for me. I have zero interest in performing while trying to get closer to God. If he knows my heart, then he sees me. Fellowship is a weird word. I refuse to participate. Let's take a deep breath. Thanks for listening. You are worth it. You are not a burden. Thanks for being here.